Hi everyone, I'm going to break down one of my latest remixes I made for HNDSM Boiz and KY's track called Go In. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so this is my session. Let's play a little bit and then we'll go from there.
Used to be surrounded with music and my friends. Lived a party lifestyle, but now I just go in. Dive below the surface, deep within your core. Find your true purpose, what are you waiting for? We can't go out, so let's go in. We can't go out, so let's go in. We can't go out, so let's go in. Let's go in. We can't go out.
So that's pretty much the gist of it. I had so much fun remixing this track. It was, there was so much creative space for me to mess around with, to add more movement, to add, little textures on top of it. So let's break it down. We'll first start with the drums and then we'll work from there. All right, so this is my drum section. I got the kicks, claps, cymbals. I like to keep it organized so when I mix it, it's just easy. So I could just go straight to that subgroup and just, EQ it, compress it and stuff. So this is the drum stem, how it sounds like. As you hear, there's like some movement to it, which is nice. It's pretty simple, nothing too crazy. With my drums, depending on the track, I kind of like to keep it simple. The most important for me is to kind of keep the movement. So what helps with the movement is usually the hi-hats. They sound like this. So kind of like almost like a triplet kind of delay. It's really, really, really simple, with the processing. It's just, cutting out the lows, having multiple hats. That's a key, definitely. So you can, layer some stuff. You can pan things left and right. It just helps with your drums. With my claps, I love to have multiple layers. So you have the main clap, which is a solid clap. I like to pan some claps too, so it makes it more like a fuller clap. So if you just have a solid clap in the middle, but then you pan ones, left to right, it kind of sounds like a wider clap, more fuller clap, and it just helps. And then I love to do a reverse clap, so it kind of helps with the movement as well. So you have the hi-hats to help with the movement, but also if you have a reverse clap, it feels like, it's giving like a suction vibe. So it's like kind of gives it more of that wavy type of movement, and it's a trick that I like to use. So once again, all together, it sounds like this. For the bass, I use a plugin called Sublab. It's one of my favorite plugins to use for basses. They have pure subs, they have distorted basses, they have 808s. And what's so great about it, you can alter it too. You can balance everything. You can balance the sample, you can balance the synth of it, you can distort it. So for this track, what I did is use the preset called Deep Clean and then distort it as well. And then I also bumped it at around 450 to kind of give it a little bit more crispness, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. So if you take a listen to it, so you hear it's it's not necessarily a pure sub, it has a little bit more harmonics, so it could kind of peek out of the mix. And for me, I love this plugin. So usually when I start a track, I usually start with the synths. It's just, for me, that's the most important part, the melody, the chords, because that's the whole vibe of the track. So when I was looking through samples, trying to find something that will kind of take KY's vocals to another level, I found this one sample. It was a piano I think I found from Splice, and I detuned it to, I think, three semitones. And I just love the sample. So let's take a listen to it. See, I just like that. It was so dirty. It's just not, for me, I hate those kind of clanky pianos. So when I found this, I thought this was so perfect, and it just enhanced her vocals, which I love. So with mixing the piano, I didn't do too much. Basically, just kind of cut off the low end, and then multi-band compress, kind of lower the top because it was a little bit more kind of clanky. So I try to cut that out, and then panning it. I think that was the most important. It's just kind of getting it more wide for it, more things to fit in the mix. I just like doing that because it helps with the bass, so the bass can sit in the middle, so everything could kind of spread apart, and it just sounds more clear. So for the drop chords, I literally just grabbed the piano sample and just broke it down to 4 different layers. So the first layer is like a dry layer, pretty much just the original sample. Second layer is like a chorus effect. Third layer is even more of a chorus effect. It's more wide. And then the fourth version is just an octave up. So altogether, it sounds like this. So the most important effect on this is actually the auto filter. It helps with the movement of the whole track. So as you can see, there's like a shark fin, and I love doing this with samples. It just, for me, you can do it with MIDI, you can do it with the utility tool, but for me, the auto filter just gives it a whole different effect. Coming to the important part of this track is the lead, which is actually made by Kai's vocals, but it's flipped in reverse. It's a coolest trick I like to do. I've been doing this a lot with my latest tracks, and I think it just sounds unique. It sounds different, and it's a cool effect, and it's kind of interesting because you can't really play this in the piano. If you can, it just sounds off, but with just manipulating vocal samples, I think it's a cool effect to do. So with the lead, there's 2 layers. So there's the high version and there's the mid version. So the high version just adds a little bit more air to the top, and then the mid is just the body of it. So as you can hear, the high version of it, mid version. With all together, it sounds like this. I love this effect. I recommend it for everybody to do it. It's makes your track unique, and it just sounds different. Just, it doesn't sound like a processed lead. And for me, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So with the vocals, I love to do many layers. So for her, I did her main vocals and then her main double vocals, and then I had another section that was doubles. So there's the high version and then low version. Kind of like the same thing with the drop lead, just processed differently. So if you listen to one by one, here's the main version.
We can't go out.
And then this is her main double version.
We can't go out.
So you can hear it's more wide, delayed a little bit. So here are the doubles.
We can't go out.
For me, it feels like there's texture to her vocals with all of it together, and it just sounds different, and it's a cool trick to use. All right, guys, that is my breakdown for the Go In remix. Go check it out. It's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, Apple, pretty much everywhere. So go check it out, and then I'll see you guys in the next one.